Hey guys, it's me, Jack. I am here with Associate Distance. I'm going to be a creative guide today. I make no claims to being any kind of academic or an expert, anything of the likes, but nor do I always even follow my own advice that you might hear here. So let's talk about it in an underestimated way about an underrated skill, and that's how to actually read poetry. You know, many poets, from Billy Collins to Patti Smith to anybody else you can think of, they've always said that the only way to become a better poet is to read more poetry. And I agree with that. But I feel like it's also informative to go beyond just enjoying the poems. Now, a not so secret weapon is to read it like you're a writer. You want to study the book's craft and its style. You want to listen to its voice. You want to read with intention and notice the uses of form, the pacing, and even the empty spaces on the page. Ask yourself, what can I learn about form and voice and structure? Now, when I'm picking up a poetry book, I don't just read the summary and blurbs and just move on. I always notice that who the publisher is. Indie presses tend to have their own vibes and their own voices. I encourage you to dig deep into the indie press. Smaller yet more powerful presses offering fine examples of this kind of work include Punk Hostage Press, the Poetry Bus from the UK, and others like Collapse Press. Many others can be found through travels on the internet and through connections with us here at Associate Distance. A review of the authors and the guests at Associate Distance is going to also reveal a selection of similar-minded presses, poets, and artists. You'll want to see the world through their eyes. We are not really just talking about Penguin or Simon or Schuster, for that matter. We are talking about firebrands in the small press and in the press business. When you scan a book, I suggest that you note the layout, note the spacing, note the typography. Is there something in the design that's inviting to you? Is your cortex tingled a little bit? Does the flow like you need it to, like you want it to? Do the poems stretch across the page, or do they play with the white space? Are there forms or visual twists in the poetry that grabs your attention? Blurbs are really beautiful and they're helpful, but don't let them decide for you whether a book is for you. They are just one person's opinion. Trust your own guts, trust your own tastes. Go with the vibe that you receive. Look for in excerpted poems or broadsides online, or sample pieces that are listed as part of promotions for the book itself. Look for poem release dates in print or on web-based outlets. And always follow your favorite poets, your favorite artists, your favorite writers, as well as the publishers that work with them. You'll gravitate to these people and you'll find yourself with a wealth of information and a land of intuition and experience that you want to be in the middle of by doing a little bit of research. These book releases and podcast appearances usually highlight the book's energy and give some clue into the theme and style. So when you browse for something new, my go-to tactic is to read the first poem, I'll read the last poem, and then sometimes I'll sample something from the middle. And that'll help me to get some idea about the book's rhythm and see if it fits what I'm searching for. I don't go out and buy a lot of books. I like the older books, and I like the methods that some of us all use of trading books. Honestly, for me, it's really as much about the vibe as anything else when I look at something new, but I do tend to come at things in a much less than academic fashion. The covers do tell their own story. The colors, the imagery, the symbolism I really like finding the hints of what's inside from just the design on the outside. I like to judge a book by its cover because I want it cover to tell you what the book's about. How do you decide what books to bring home from the bookstore? I'd love to hear what your approach is in the comments section. Let's all keep reading like writers, and let's all learn together. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Social Yet Distanced for more craft tips and over 100 other examples. And until the next time, keep those pages turning, keep the ideas flowing with the poems springing forth. Thanks, you guys. Have a great night.